Hi, I'm Tony Fleming, and this is Fleming's Ultimate Garage. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us on today's video. I know what you're saying, wow, that is one good looking car, and why does it look so good? Well, you know why it looks so good is because these 17-inch replica Honeycomb rims look off the hook. If you don't love them and you just wanted a black Trans Am, we can certainly swap these out for a stock set of the 15x8 Honeycombs, because you want the 15x8s. Do not ask me for 15x7s. I'd rather set the car on fire first before I put 15x7s on there. Or maybe I'm exaggerating some, but you know what I mean. They're like this big. The space saver in the trunk is bigger than the 15x7 wheel. I don't get it. Anyway, so having said that, all new black paint, beautifully restored, tons of options on the car, and a lot of things that we forget to ask about. This has the Radial Tuned Suspension, so this thing handles really nicely. Throw in the square shoulder of a much bigger wheel and tire, and now you have a modern kind of performance car. You got the 400 V8. It's the matching numbers 400 V8 that came in the car originally, so that adds not only credibility to the fact that it's investment grade, but it's also been rebuilt with some more power to it too, so really, really nice. But anyway, let's talk about some paint for a second. Come on up. I love the decals on a Trans Am, the call out of the 400, this right here, and then come on up and see this. Now this is what I want you to be talking about. You're on the internet, you're looking, don't look at this, look down in here. Huh? How clear is that black paint? Somebody wet sanded, buffed, and did all that stuff. You can see what time it is. You can see the wrinkles in my face. Oh, this is not good for my face. Anyway, what I'm getting at is this. Gorgeous paint. You show up at a car show, and you're going to get a lot of wows in this car. So as we walk around the car, you know, these to me have great style. I love these cars when I was going to high school. The rich kids had them, and I did not, and now I'm getting back at them because I like to have 5 or 6 of them at a time is how much I love these cars, because they drive so great. I had no idea, because I couldn't afford one. How would I have ever known? But I did ride in them, and they were very nice back in the day. All right, so depending on the year, you're going to get a little front end difference, whether it's a 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, you know, all kinds of different tail lights and stuff like that make them different. This is one of the great cars. This is one of the collectible cars. The black with the red is a beautiful color combination. Not to mention, it pulls the red that's in the decal set that comes with the car as well. All right. So also down in here, you can't really see it, but we have power disc brakes on this car. All right. Sometimes we forget to ask about that because we have a modern car. A lot of cars come with just drum brakes. This has power disc brakes in there, which is really, really nice. All right. Okay, so let's take a peek under the hood and see what kind of rumble you might get, all right? Okay, so come on in and check this out. So we have the correct color painted 400. We have power steering. We have power disc brakes, all right? The detail under here is very nice. Matter of fact, it's a little over-restored, which doesn't really bother me. I mean, if you're gonna go to a car show, they're gonna want it to be restored. If you're going to get judged at the Nationals, this would not be correct where it's beautifully painted, the fender wells, but it just gives you, show you, I don't really care about the major show. I want to go to a cool cruise-in or go to a car show or whatever, open the hood and people go, wow, that is really nice, and that's exactly what this is. Wow, really nice. Original emission stickers, tower clamps, little things like that to let you know that this car is you know, restored authentically, and it really, I don't know, this is a great looking car, man. If you ever wanted a Trans Am, a black Trans Am is really a nice piece. Not a lot of them out there. I love the styling of the Trans Am. You get the callouts here for the Trans Am. You got the front and rear spoilers, great looking bumper, and then these great long taillights, which look wonderful. The back of this car, which you can't see really, has got the correct package tray in it. So where the holes for the speakers are underneath the package tray, and that's where we installed the speakers. A lot of people put them on top. I don't really like that because I think it takes away from the overall interior. I like a great sound system. You can still get the same thing, but you don't have to see them, all right? Okay, let's check out the detail of the trunk. And I like that too because I wanted to show you, this is actually a pretty important feature. Most Trans Ams don't open like that, and they're supposed to. They're spring-loaded, and this is supposed to stick up so that you can load it without having to hold things or put a stick here or something like that. I took the trunk mat out of here so you could see how beautiful these floor pans are, okay? The original seam sealer's still in here from the factory, okay? All the wiring is correct, the taillights work, the blinkers work, the backup lights, I mean, all that little stuff that's there is rolling along and nicely done, okay? I know that we have the decal for here that's missing, and that should be here even today, so we'll have that installed before you take delivery, and after that, I think you are good to go. And that's a good sign that it's hard to close because that means it has a nice fresh seal in it. All right, so welcome here for a second. I wanted to sit inside the Firethorn red interior. It's not often you get a red interior car, and I love a red interior car. And this is one, first off, it's beautifully restored inside, but it's a great color red. It's not so bright that it's like blinding. It's just really nicely done. And it's got like upgraded carpet, it's got these great mats in it. The seat covers are all redone. Console with the gauges, you got the factory tach, speedometer, volts, all the little things like that. The reason I lost my train of thought for a second was I was saying, you know what, a nice restoration is always great when the clock works. And I was looking at the clock, and sure enough, the clock was working. So I was like, oh wow, I got to tell everybody that the clock is working, because you know what? 1 year after this thing was new, the clock probably didn't work. And now, 30 years later, the clock is working, which is pretty cool. And little stuff like, like the key in buzzer working. So those kinds of things, like in here you got, it's kind of cool, you got power windows, all right, and remote mirrors. It's got a really kind of circa vintage kind of cassette sound system in it. We could take it out and put like a stock Pontiac radio in there if you want to, and then put a cool digital sound system in the glove box and hide it for you, which we do for a lot of people. They love that. This way you keep the dash all stock, but you get to have your tunes as well. And you can listen to Bon Jovi, Wanted, Dead or Alive. Or I could just sing the whole thing for you right now if you want, but I don't think you want that. So that would probably ruin the video and wreck your chances of getting this car, because you'll throw up on your monitor and you'll never be able to see this car again. So I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna start the car up so you can hear it and see how cool this bad boy sounds. Okay, so we're going to close up the video on this. Listen, man, black Trans Am, enough said, but throw in the honeycomb wheels, the shaker hood, the great graphics on this car. This is a beautiful looking car. I love the red interior. You don't see it very often. It's nice to finally see something a little bit different. And you talk about great driving cars, they got the Radial Tuned Suspension, the power disc brakes, the power steering. This is matching numbers as well. So these are kind of like investment grade cars. And you say, well, how do you know they're investment grade? Well, you're right. I can't predict the future, but I can say this. This car was $5,000 or $6,000 or maybe $7,000 depending on the years of the Trans Ams that are made, right? Maybe even they were $10,000 for the 10th anniversary ones, right? Well, they're not selling for $10,000 anymore. So clearly they're going up in value. And if you can have something that goes up in value and you get to drive it, it's a no-brainer. Anyway, if you can find a way to get a really cool TA in your life, call us, 301-816-1000. We'll tell you all about this Black Beauty.